Reporting live from Fox 25 News, I'm Erin Kelly, and today I'm going to report on the story of Christopher Columbus expedition. As we know, our rulers, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, are very into their Christian faith. No duh. That is what caused them to go into a 10-year battle to rid the Muslims and Jews of Spain. We finally conquered the last Muslim stronghold in January 1492, but 7 years earlier, in 1484, Christopher Columbus attempted to convince King John II of Portugal to sponsor a voyage west to the Orient, but he was rejected. He then turned to us in 1486, but on his first attempt to enlist the support of the Spanish throne, he was denied. But after a lengthy search for support in France and England, we agreed to sponsor him in 1492. Our change of heart was due to the desire to spread Christianity, to compete with Portugal for new sources of wealth, and to funnel resources previously tied up from the Reconquista of Iberia. He sailed west from the port of Palos on the Gulf of Cadiz. He was then sure that he would arrive in Asia, but he ended up arriving in the Bahamas. Screw up! When Columbus walked on shore in the Bahamas, he encountered the beginnings of a continent that Europe had no idea existed. After arriving to the Bahamas, the first thing that Christopher Columbus did was take possession of the land and name it the Spanish throne. Columbus made witnesses sign a paper at a ceremony saying that they had seen Columbus claim the island and name the Spanish throne. Still in pursuit to find China, Columbus and his crew sailed again, but instead of finding China, they found Cuba and then Hispaniola. This is where they founded the first European colony. They began to sail home on January 8, 1493. In Barcelona, he continued to claim that he had found an alternate route to Asia. Regardless of what these lands were exactly, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand wanted sovereignty over them and petitioned Pope Alexander VI, who granted them exclusive title in the Papal Bull of 1493. It was a 224 round-trip voyage. His voyage succeeded in demonstrating the range and endurance of European ships and sailors. On his second voyage in 1493, he was instructed to convert indigenous populations to Christianity, expand his colony in Hispaniola, hold a trading post, and continue his search for the Orient, which we know he failed. He was also granted a monopoly on the exploration of the region. When Columbus and his crew returned home to Hispaniola in November 1493, they discovered that the members of Hispaniola had plans to destroy the original settlement and slaughter its inhabitants. A little harsh, but I do say so myself. A new colony was hastily found, and then we soon inaugurated the practice of sending regular military expeditions inland to subdue the increasingly hostile indigenous population. His desire quickly changed from exploration and trade to conquest and subjugation. The local people were captured and treated as slaves to support the fledgling colony. Others were caught and promised to be released once they paid a tribute of gold to Christopher Columbus. When he returned back to us in 1496, his achievements inspired little confidence or excitement. He had gathered enough information to prove that later trips could bring profit in gold. We thought the concessions given to him were a little too generous, so we took his monopoly back and began to license other expeditions. It was thought that other setbacks from the second voyage that he wouldn't be able to recruit sufficient sailors and vessels, but he did in 1498. The two ships split after reaching the Canaries. The first group took the well-known route to Hispaniola, while Columbus's crew traveled farther south. Columbus encountered an island off the northern coast of South America, which he called Trinidad, before passing through the Gulf of Paria and encountering the future land known as Venezuela. The boat was carried by the Orinoco River, which led him to conclude that the terrestrial paradise must be nearby. He would sail southward as far as he could, and then he returned his ships back to Hispaniola. When he arrived at Hispaniola, he found the Spanish colony in disarray and seething with discontent. Not too good. There were many problems, including that there was not enough gold to make everyone rich within a year. The people said they wouldn't eat the Indian food, and this ended with them returning home, demanding back pay. His presence in Hispaniola made an already violent situation much worse. After many reports from the colony, they were convinced to dispatch Francisco de Bobadilla to Hispaniola to assist Columbus home, where he was brought home back in chains. Not too good. It was not until the specter of Portuguese success in Asia loomed large that King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella decided that they should allow Christopher to undertake another expedition. He believed that China lay a short distance to the northwest of South America. and that there should be a passage to the Indian Ocean between Cuba and the other world. On Christmas Day in 1502, he found himself at what is now the entrance to the Panama Canal. But there was no way it would work out, so he returned home. On the way home, he established a post at Bailoa in Jamaica, but didn't make a settlement due to the shortage of men and materials. He would die in 1506 with little notice, with Queen Isabella passing away 2 years earlier in 1504. Within 10 years of his death, the entire length of the coast from Honduras to Pernambuco had been mapped. All the major West Indian islands, they saved Barbados, and these lands all had been explored by Europeans, where we had accomplished some of our goals. We knew that there was people in the New World, and we experienced cross-cultural contact, which sometimes wasn't good, but we provoked violent reactions by the indigenous people by taking their land and their resources. Overall, Spain had become wealthier and more knowledgeable of the New World. Even though we didn't find exactly what we were looking for, we did find something that was very great.